Welcome to T is for Transformation. I'm your host, Shaun T. And you know what? First of all, welcome back to the show. If you haven't seen the other episodes, you need to go listen right now because you are going to get inspired to continue your transformation. But more importantly, can I just say sometimes in life, people just need to mind their business and they just need to support other people instead of judging other people. Because society has a lot to say about how we choose to improve ourselves, doesn't it? From cosmetic procedures to weight management, there's this cloud of judgment that seems to hover over our personal decisions. But here's the thing, when it comes to Botox, a Brazilian butt lift, or even weight management surgeries, isn't it really about what makes us feel good, what boosts our health and self-confidence? I want to push past the stigma, the whispers, and the side eyes, because at the ending of the day, the choices we make about our bodies, our health, they're deeply personal. They're about us taking control, making decisions that align with our goals, our decisions for who we want to be. And that's what we're here to explore today. Not just the what's and whys behind our choices, but celebrating the courage it takes to make them, to say, this is what I need to do for me. Today, we step into the story of Billy Lenoir, a tale that embodies the essence of transformation and profound impact of embracing our choices, no matter what others have to say. It's a reminder that in the journey towards self-improvement, the only approval we really need is our own.
My name is Billy Lenoir. I'm from Dallas, Texas. This is a major surgery, and there's a lot of complications around this that you have to be aware of. When you go through the gastric sleeve surgery like I did, this is not something you can just do and undo. There is no undo on this. Once it's done, it's done. This was something I needed to do to save my life. Food is kind of like a drug I've figured out over time. At some point, the food is what's either going to help you or hurt you. Food became that feeling of, I'll fill this void with food. There's so much mental reset going on just from these changes that I don't want to go back there. It's been such a journey and I've had so much progress in such short a time that I refuse to go back ever to where I came from. I won't let that ever happen again. It blows me away now to see myself every day, whereas pre-surgery, I didn't even want to look in the mirror. I did what I had to do to save me. Do what you have to do to make an impact on your own life, and then let your light shine from there.
Welcome to the show. I am so happy to have you here. I'm gonna get a big hug from you. Yes. Extended hug. We can do that too.
Yes.
How are you feeling?
Great. How are you?
I'm good. You know, I'm really excited that you're here today because I am personally over people judging other people's choices and decisions to make their lives better. So let's just dive right in.
Yeah.
Why did you choose to get gastric sleeve surgery?
I couldn't tell you exactly why at first, but now I can. It's a whole thing of what started it and why, but ultimately why is because I was not going to probably be here today. Like I would probably be 6 feet under right now if I didn't do the surgery. That'd be the biggest why as to why I went and did the surgery.
What was the process of, you know, from once you decided to when you actually got the surgery? Like take me on a journey, because there are a lot of people out there that really just judge it. They think that you go get this surgery because you're lazy, you go get this surgery, but they don't know the process it actually takes and the work it takes to put in to actually get the surgery.
Yeah, to do the surgery, you have to go through a series of pre-qualifications, not just insurance or self-pay or whatever, but you have to go talk to a surgeon, find the right surgeon. That's key too. Some people have to go to many surgeons before they feel the right fit. Once you go and meet the surgeon, they discuss your options. There's a process called a Roux-en-Y. There's a gastric sleeve. There's other ones out there. And they discuss with you, what are your goals? What are you hoping to get out of it? They discuss with me, and then we decided gastric sleeve was the one for me. And then you go through and you actually meet with a psychologist, because this journey is so mental. People don't understand how much mental aspect of this goes into it. You also meet with a nutritionist. They talk about, there's a pre-surgery eating plan that you go through to lead up to it, and then ultimately up to the actual surgery day.
In my book, you know, I talk about before the before when it comes to people's pictures, because of course we see someone's before picture when they may have, you know, weighed a lot extra and we see their after picture. What was your lifestyle before you even decided to do the surgery?
You know, even as a kid, I didn't worry about what I ate. My parents didn't worry about what I ate. Nobody worried. You know, we just kind of ate what we wanted or whatever mom fixed at the time. So my eating was all over the place. I would eat a lot of fast food, a lot of just candy, sweets. My life was just always eating, but not worrying about any consequences. Back when I was a kid, there wasn't all the social media now there is. There isn't, 50,000 people, 50 million people telling you every day online what you should eat and how you should eat. There was none of that. So you grew up in that environment of you ate how your household ate.
When we talk about eating, we talk about cheating, and that's why I feel a lot of people have a bad relationship with food, because whether they're enjoying food or whether they are eating healthy, they're combining this, like, this is bad for me, this is good for me. And while you were in a situation where that's just what you knew, no one ever taught you, so it put you in a situation where you're like, oh wow, like I actually have to focus on this, and the decisions that were the foundation of my youth got me here today. And that's the part for me that's really important. Our foundations oftentimes are the driving force to us actually being where we are. Even when I talk about mental health, people are like, oh my God, you're such a great parent. I'm like, my kids are probably still gonna need to go to therapy, trying to do the best that we can do. With that said, did you ever feel like stepping into the arena of wanting to get the surgery, did you feel like you were cheating? How did you feel about that? Because people say, oh, it's cheating to get that.
Absolutely. If you'd asked me 2 years ago, hey, are you interested in gastric sleeve? My answer immediately would have been no, absolutely not. If you do it, that's great. You do you. But for me at the time, it's cheating. It's a shortcut. It's an easy way out. Oh, you'll get the body that you want by going that route. I have to do it the natural way. I'm better than that. That's the focus I had leading up to learning more about what it entails and how much work there is into it. My mindset shifted, and then one of my really good friends, we call him Waffles for his nickname, but he had it. I like that nickname. Yeah, so shout out to Waffles. He had it, and once he had it, he talked to me about it, and I saw his before and his after, and I was just floored at how much he had changed, because I knew there was change surrounding gastric sleeve, but I didn't know, we don't know what we don't know. So he talked to me about it in depth and said, I promise you the journey is worth it. You'll get where you're wanting to get, but it's not easy. So that's how I kind of went from no way, never, it's cheating to, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so in the prep, what did they teach you about food? Because I know you say food is either going to help you or it's going to hurt you. How did the counseling actually enhance your relationship with food and the choices that you were going to make post-surgery?
The counseling is two parts, like I was saying. The psychologist, the mental aspect, they want to make sure you understand this isn't reversible. There's not, oh, I don't like this, put it back. There's just no reversal of it. So that's part of it, is just making sure mentally you understand that your life will never be the same again. The nutrition part, they talk to you about, you want to eat healthy. You can't just go back and eat the way you were eating. It has to change. Sure, eventually a year or two down the road, you can start mixing those things back in. Your stomach goes from, what you eat or what other people eat to this. So that you have to understand that, your portions are going to be completely different to what you're used to. I grew up eat as much as I want until I'm stuffed, and then sometimes I'll still eat more.
Yeah.
Now you can't on the other side of the surgery. So the nutrition was very helpful in, here's the healthier options. Here's the plan that you have to come out of surgery, because you won't be eating right when you come out of surgery. They divide it all up into weeks at a time and tell you how things will progress. Liquids only, then you can have pureed stuff, then you can have an egg. And you're like, an egg? And they're like, yeah, you'll be full after an egg. And that's where the mental aspect comes into play. The pre-stuff is just as important.
One of the things that's really interesting about the surgery in general is oftentimes when people get a tummy tuck or a BBL, obviously there's some sort of healing journey for a couple months or whatever, but you kind of see the result of it from the surgery. Whereas when you get gastric sleeve, you're still the same weight after surgery. So all of the lessons that you had to actually put forth or learn before you had the surgery, that's when you have to come in and be like, oh wow, you're forced to have portion control. Even though I know you felt full, I have heard of people that were just not able to really stick to the post surgery plan. How were you able to do that and stick to the plan? What was your mental process to be like, no way, like I'm doing this?
I work in the GI field and I see a lot of different doctors every week with my job. So I had an opportunity, and the unique opportunity, I would say, to talk to several different doctors about the procedure and the process and to find out the good, the bad, the ugly. So I was probably more mentally prepared than a lot of people for the post-surgical aspects of eating and everything else. And plus, when we do workout programs like yours, and then there's always those meal plans that come with it. Well, you basically have a meal plan post-surgery. And for me, I thrive when there's something laid out in front of me. You need to do this, you can do this. This is all you can do. Eating plans, here's a list of like 5 meals that you could pick from. Well, doesn't tell me I have to, and my body's not forcing me into that box that I have to. As crazy as it sounds, I thrived in this because put me in a box and tell me what I can and can't do, and give me the physical limitations that I can only do that.
Yeah.
And I'm good. But a lot of people, they can't.
I use the word cheat again because it's just what people know. Did your taste buds change? Did you still crave the same things? Because I'm like, there are a lot of people out there that may want to get this and they're like, well, how did you not do what you were doing before? Even though you say, I follow a plan, like some people before they even get gastric sleeve, they have a plan, but they don't necessarily follow it. How did you stick to that? And you're like, yo, I'm not going to cheat. I'm going to stay in this.
Pre-surgery, I stuck to the 2-week diet that they put you on, because they tell you, you got to stick to it, or if you show up and you haven't done the process, they'll literally postpone your surgery till you do it. And I was like, I'm not doing this and not having the surgery. So your stomach, as a normal person's size, produces a chemical, I think it's pronounced ghrelin, which goes to your brain and says, oh, that cake looks good, let's eat it. That chocolate, that pizza, that burger, all those things that got me to the massive size.
It's like when I see donuts.
Yeah, exactly. So you see donuts and you're like, man, I really want a donut. Yeah. I see donut now and I'm like, I don't care. Because the stomach is so small, it doesn't produce that chemical anymore. So the cravings are literally gone. So my wife was like, how's this going to look post-surgery? We can't go out to eat, or we can't go out to eat with you. And I'm like, you can sit in front of me and eat whatever you want. I literally have 0 cravings for any of that stuff. And what I just put my body through and the changes in order to get rid of, like you said, you come out of the surgery, you're still big. If I want to get to the body and the size and the changes that I want, I have to stick to that plan. But literally the cravings are 0, they're gone.
Let's talk about the transformation itself, because I'm sitting here next to you. I don't know how much you weigh. I don't know what you looked like before, but what was the physical? I hear a lot of the mental transformation, which I think is really great. What was the physical transformation where it comes to weight loss or muscle development? How was that journey for you?
I was 372 pounds when I went into surgery. So I would have filled this chair and probably been pushing into the sides of it. The physical aspect of it, though, watching the body just slowly start dropping weight and noticing curves in the body and indentions and definition of various areas that I'd never seen before. Having to go down and buy clothes, constantly, but you're dropping so much weight and so much in the inches and everything else that you don't go out and buy a new wardrobe. You just start donating your existing and you just start buying enough to get through the week or the next couple weeks until your size just keeps coming down. It's crazy to watch, and I've taken a lot of pictures.
Can we see some pictures? Because I need to celebrate this transformation. Come on, Billy, come through.
Yeah. It's mind-blowing.
I love it. You did it.
Yeah.
Okay. You must love taking some selfies. How many selfies do you take a day?
Probably 3 or 4.
I love it. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, and I say it on this show as well, nothing looks as good as confidence feels. How's your confidence increase throughout this process?
Through the roof, literally through the roof. Pre-surgery, I was the guy that could motivate you and tell you everything you needed to know, but I didn't believe it. There was no fire in here. I would work out, but my eating just sabotaged it left and right. I just had no confidence in myself, no confidence in really anything. I'll get you to where you want to go, but I could not get my self-confidence up. And now I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be on this stage right now talking to you about any of this if I didn't get my confidence back. Now, I know what I've done. I know I still have a long way to go, in my opinion, but my confidence is through the roof now. That's why I'm here. I want people to know that this is life-changing. It's life-saving for me too.
I see you in the gym. Look at you. I'm looking at another picture. I love it. Question for you. Did you ever have a fear of telling people that you did get the surgery as a part of your transformation?
I did. I wasn't going to tell anyone for a long time. I said I would wait until my, what they call surgery-versary, however you pronounce it, which is next month.
Happy early anniversary, surgiversary.
Yes. But I wasn't going to tell anyone because people online can be mean. People online can be very judgmental. And I didn't want anybody to do what we talked about earlier. I don't want to be looked at as, oh, you cheated, you took the easy way out. So I did not want to tell anyone except for some very close friends of mine. When I hit the 100-pound weight loss mark, which I hit in about, I think it was 9 months, I was just like floored looking at the scale going, I can't believe I've already hit 100 pounds. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to say what I did, but I'm going to celebrate that 100-pound weight loss. And I put that post out there and I said, I'm down 100 pounds. Doesn't matter how I did it, and let's go. I didn't really even post about anything about having gastric sleeve until officially a couple of months ago when my surgeon said, hey, we want to use your before and afters on our social media pages. And then once that hit, it was like, well, the secret's out.
Everyone's going to know. So when the secret did come out, what was the feedback you got?
Everybody's really positive. Everybody was like, wow, that's really great. I didn't know anything about that. And people have had questions about it. I have another close friend who just had it recently. I've been walking them through a lot of what I went through and helping them prepare for what's coming. You know, that's kind of been a change for me with my confidence too. It's like now I can confidently speak to, I've been there. Mm-hmm. I literally have been there where you are. I haven't had anyone come back and go, oh, you cheater or or anything negative, which is great, but we'll see. When
you did, I use the words come out, did you have anyone else say, oh, I had that surgery too, or any other kind of surgeries? Or did you feel like you built a community of other people? Because usually like when someone says like, I'm going through this too, other people don't feel alone and they're like, oh, someone said it, so now I feel courage, or did you not?
I had some other people go, oh, I had that surgery, or I had the lap band surgery, or I had this, or I had that. So I've had some people come out and say that they've had it. It really didn't change my view on anything or change my mindset, because it was just like, great, let's all celebrate that we've all made changes.
Fitness in general, people constantly feel like it's an uphill battle, even if they don't get a surgery, right? And then you get a surgery, and then your stomach purposely shrinks, and then you have to make all these adjustments. Do you feel like it's an uphill battle? And if you do, what are the processes that push you through it? Or are you like, no, like I'm in it. It doesn't feel like a battle anymore.
It's always going to be a battle because I don't think anyone's ever going to be truly happy with what they see in the mirror. So I think from that aspect, it's always a battle. I've always been a gym rat. It's just always been the food that caused my issues. So it was killing me post-surgery to go, how long till I can work out? It was like about 6 weeks or so before they said, oh, you can lift up to 5 pounds. And I'm like, I'm gonna work that 5 pound like it's never been worked before. That's another aspect of the whole surgery. It's like a reset button on your entire body, mentally and physically, because even that 5 pounds, I lift all the time, but I was only 6 weeks out. That 5 pounds, I was sore as the first day I ever did a workout program my entire life. Part of the fitness is that I knew that this was my chance to get the food and the fitness and make it really work. And the pictures are showing that. And I've already built the best body that I personally ever have had thanks to fitness.
I love it. If you had to tell someone who was in that point where they love working out and they go to the gym, but they don't quite have a hold on the food, is there any nugget you can give them to help push them maybe over the hump, maybe thinking about gastric sleeve, or they just need that little motivation to push forward?
For the people that wouldn't want to go a surgical route of some sort, I would just say get with a nutritionist, get with someone that knows all about food and have them help you. It makes a difference when you have someone that's there to coach you through it and to say, here's what you should do. Because when you go to someone like that, you can say, here's the foods I enjoy. Here's the foods I don't enjoy. Because you've got to enjoy what you're eating, whether it's healthy or not, preferably healthy, obviously. You've got to enjoy it. So a nutritionist can take what you love and make it work. I know a guy that loves chicken nuggets and fries, and that's all he loves. but he got on the right plan and with the right coaching, he's dropped a ton of weight. And it's just like amazing what he did, because he's one of the most pickiest eaters that I know. For people that are considering the surgery, A, do your homework, and B, find someone that's been through it. Don't just talk to someone who goes, oh, I know someone. Who do you know? I want to talk to that person, because unless they've been through something like I've been through, they don't know all of it. They only know what they've heard and what people have shared. So my encouragement is do whatever it takes, because you don't know what health issues are coming or what that person's already been through. Like, I have a lot of health issues I'm still dealing with, but you have to do what's right for you. And that's ultimately what it comes down to.
I know you say something that's really impactful for people who may be struggling. You say, it's okay not to be okay, which is really cool, because this a song that I love. And my favorite line in that entire song is when they say, it's okay not to be okay. How did that really push you forward? Because people don't go to mental health therapy because they don't want to admit that they have a problem or they don't want to live it. But you're literally saying, no, it's okay not to be okay. And I know I'm not okay. How did that empower you?
Pre-surgery, no confidence, I wouldn't have said that. I'd have been like, this just sucks. It is what it is. I am where I am. And, I'm where I am, and all I can do is keep fighting and keep fighting and keep trying through all this. And again, that that whole reset button on your whole body and how mental this has been. I tell people now, I wasn't okay. I'm still not okay, but I'm more okay than I was. So I don't think anybody will ever be okay fully. But when I say it's okay not to be okay, I mean, if you're in a situation and you're not happy, that's okay. It's okay to be in that situation. But what are you going to do to get out of it? It's not okay to stay stuck where you are. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to go to someone and go, hey, I need help. I went to a surgeon. I mentally can't get past this food. I mentally can't stay locked in. I lost 74 pounds at one point, and it was just slowly eating healthy, but still having a lot of cheat meals or cheat days instead of one cheat meal.
Yeah.
Eventually, I hit 2.5 years of back-to-back-to-back health issues. I went through a carpal tunnel surgery. During my surgery, I couldn't work out. I ate a bunch and I was still eating bad, put back on some weight. Then I started dropping weight again. Then I had a nasal surgery. That's when they discovered I had high blood pressure. My blood pressure spiked so high, I should have gone into cardiac arrest or something under anesthesia. But they were thinking that because I work out so much, thank you, Insanity at the time.
You're welcome.
That my heart was strong enough to not go into that. Nothing to prove that, obviously. But, and then I put more weight on from that. I got really sick, put more weight on from that. And that 74 pounds, before I knew it, I'd put back on like 120 of it. That's what eventually led to the surgery, because I got to that point where I mentally could not find that slow process that I'd gone from X weight down 74. I couldn't find that mental state again. I was not okay. I was not okay with how I looked. I was not okay with how I felt. I was not okay with anything. And that's when it was like, it's okay that I can go ask for help. Enter the gastric sleeve surgeon that I found, and she helped me understand, you're not cheating, you're not quitting, you're not giving up. This is going to save your life.
It's like you said, and I think what's really important for a lot of people to understand when you say, I did what I had to do to save me. And that line right there is the one thing that people should think about in a really deep way, so that you can stop judging people because you don't know what someone's going through on the outside. I mean, you can also take someone who's really thin, right? And they have high blood pressure, they're on the verge of a stroke. When someone's overweight and they're bigger, it's easier for us to judge. And then when you make that decision, it's easy for us to be like, oh, this person cheated. But there are other people that look complete opposite that aren't healthy either. They feel like they don't have to take that route. They may not have control. So I'm just happy that you chose to do what you had to do to save you. And thank you so much for sharing your story.
Absolutely.
And being brave enough to come on here.
Yeah.
And congrats for being the before and after picture on the site of the doctor, because you have done the work. And I really just want to say congratulations and thank you for sharing your transformation.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And with that, we'll be right back with some teachable moments. Reflecting on Billy's remarkable story, we've heard firsthand the transformative power of taking bold steps toward a healthier self. Billy's journey through gastric sleeve surgery isn't just a testament to physical change, but a beacon of hope for anyone contemplating a similar path. It's stories like this that inspire us to look deeper to understand the intricacies and realities behind such life-altering decisions. Now let's take a closer look at the details behind gastric sleeve surgery. Gastric sleeve surgery, also known as sleeve gastrectomy, involves removing approximately 80% of the stomach, leaving a tube-shaped stomach about the size of a banana. That shit is bananas, yo. This significantly reduces the amount of food one can eat and helps decrease hunger hormone levels. The gastric sleeve is not an easy way out. It demands major lifestyle changes, such as high protein, low carb diet, and regular exercise to prevent complications. Now, some of you out there might be like, well, you should have just did that before, but you don't know what people go through, so don't judge if you don't know someone's internal life struggles. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. The ASMBS reports that patients typically lose 60% of their excess weight within 2 years of post-surgery. The mental health journey for gastric sleeve surgery is rigorous, requiring continuous support and thorough psychological preparation to ensure candidates are ready for post-surgery lifestyle changes. Post-op challenges, including adjusting to the new body image and changing how emotions and social dynamics are managed. Now, a lot of you out there already have issues with body image. Like some people who, you look at someone else and they're like, oh my gosh, like you look so good. And you say to yourself like, oh my gosh, I don't feel good. Imagine having to not only get most of your stomach taken away, but you have the pre-thoughts that go along with that, and then you have the post-struggles that go along with that. It's okay to have the body image issue, but perspective, like you actually have it together. And someone like Billy had to go through a lot to even just have good body image issues. And you see, homeboy be taking selfies all day long, and I'm here for it. Gastric sleeve isn't the sole weight loss intervention. GLP-1 receptors like Ozempic, Wegovy, or semaglutide, originally prescribed for type 2 diabetes, now aid in weight management by reducing hunger. Studies, including one in the New England Journal of Medicine, show significant weight loss with these medications. However, their popularity still raises issues about diabetes patients' access to long-term medication reliance for weight control. As we wrap up today's episode, we've been given a profound glimpse into Billy's journey. A narrative with courage and the power of personal choice. His decision to undergo gastric sleeve surgery is a vivid testament to the strength found in taking control of one's health and happiness. It's a reminder that our paths to wellness are deeply personal and require not just our own understanding and commitment, but the support and acceptance of those around us. I want to extend my deepest gratitude to Billy for sharing his inspiring story with us. It's not every day that we encounter such an open heart and mind willing to lay bare their struggles and victories in the hopes of lighting the way forward for others. I would love for this to be a call to action. Let's challenge the stigmas, the judgments, and the whispers that surround other people's decisions on what to do with their bodies. Instead, let's choose empathy, support, and encouragement, recognizing that each of us has the right to pursue health and happiness in the ways that best suits us. Thank you all for watching or listening. Always dig deeper in your transformation and encourage people as much as you can. My name is Shaun T. Peace out.